I have finally accomplished a feat that I never thought was going to be possible for me because I've tried many times before and I've failed time and time again. Finally, here at the end of 2020, I was able to start, read, and finish Elantris. I love Sanderson. I love Brandon Sanderson more than you. I love the Cosmere more than you, probably. Depends on who's watching this. There are some that love and know more about the Cosmere and Sanderson and his works than I do. However, I am a massive fan, and I've read every novel, novella, novelette, and short story in the Cosmere to date, except for one. I hadn't read Elantris, but I had tried. I tried time and time again. There had been probably 3 different attempts since I came across Sanderson in the first place that I've tried to read Elantris, and I've tried it in different ways. Ebook, physical book, audiobook, and none of them kept my attention. None of them was I interested in. And so I actually moved for the very first time a Sanderson book into a did not finish or plan to not read pile. And that hurt me. So I knew that at some point I had to come back to this. And so I actually was able to complete it this time. I did enjoy the process, and it is still my least favorite Cosmere book. For those of you that don't know, Elantris is the debut novel from Brandon Sanderson, and it is about the interwoven stories of Raoden, Serene, and Hrathen, the 3 kind of main characters here. Raoden is the prince of Arelon, who at the very start of the novel, this is no spoilers here, he wakes up to discover that he's been taken by the Sheod, which means for all intents and purposes, he's been turned into like a living zombie. He's lost his hair, his skin has grown pale, he gets splotches on his skin, his heart has stopped beating, and the pain that he experiences never fades, never dulls, and will always remain with him. So it is a way to suffer. And he is forced out of the city of Ki, or Ki, and placed in this once great city of the gods called Elantris that has been taken by the Sheod as well, that has been really turned from a city of glory and splendor into a city of nightmares. So that's Raoden. And then we've got Serene, who was pledged to be married to Prince Raoden. She's a princess from a neighboring country. She arrives into town finding that her husband, or the one that was about to be her husband, has been taken by the Sheod, and she now finds herself with no husband and no place. She thinks that her husband is dead, and the king doesn't want her here, and so she's trying to find her place there. And then you've got Hrathen, which is actually the bad guy for the majority of the novel, the villain who is coming in to convert everyone to his religion. It's convert or die, kind of like that. And so you've got these interwoven stories that like they often do in these novels, they are all on their own missions, doing their own things, and by the novel's end, they're all together, and as the conflict rises. That doesn't sound bad, right? And the premise isn't. It's the execution. This book is slow, and it is 90% politics and religion. There is not much action. There is not much that gets your blood pumping and your heart beating. There aren't many scenes like that, which Sanderson is great at creating. Even the magic system here, which Sanderson is known for his complex and well thought out magic systems, is kind of dull and somewhat unexplored because it's a dead magic that is being revived or re-explored. And so in this first book, it takes the entirety of the novel for the magic to even work in the first place. And so it is just a book that, man, I don't know, like that had great ideas, and you can tell it's his debut novel and is good compared to other novels, but it's still not great and it's not his best. But thankfully, Sanderson learned, and he made every subsequent novel all the more better for it. I didn't love Elantris, but I am glad that I have finally read it. If nothing else, to check it off my list. The reason why I especially wanted to come and read it is because I am a Cosmere fan and I really want to know all of the interworkings of this universe that Sanderson is creating for us. I have just recently read Rhythm of War. You can click the link in the annotation to find the spoiler-free and spoiler-full reviews that I did. And I love the Cosmere reveals and how it's all coming together. But I feel like readers could actually skip Elantris so far and not miss anything. There might be one thing that they might miss, but it is so inconsequential at this point that for anyone that's coming fresh to Sanderson or the Cosmere, I would say, hey, still skip Elantris or at least save it to the very end. So again, I'm glad that I read it. I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars because it's not bad. It's just not my preferred kind of fantasy literature, and I think Sanderson only does better moving forward. But please let me know your thoughts down below. I've heard a few that find Elantris to be their favorite Cosmere novel, which is just mind-blowing. Let me know if you've been able to get through it or if you've struggled as well. I've got some tips for you that others shared with me that might work for you. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, for clicking like. If you haven't yet, click subscribe and join the Dragon Army, and we'll see you in the next one.